Yo, what up? I don't have my headphones with the speaker on it, so I'm gonna just wrap this out. Look, I was watching Talib Kweli, and he was talking to Master P, and they was talking about down south, and he got something wrong. I like Kweli, that's my man. I like his whole joint, but this is what he got wrong. Um, he said he back in the day, the way he introduced Master P, he was like, "Yo, I got to be honest, I wasn't really into your joints because I was into lyrics," as if Master P and them didn't have lyrics. Now let me explain before y'all go crazy and go, "Oh, he had no lyrics." He did have lyrics. If he's speaking in his own language, in his own way, they all had lyrics. And I'm not talking about Master P per se. I'm talking about down south. Everybody was trying to say they don't have lyrics. They do have lyrics. They're speaking in their own language. So if you're in Africa or if you're in a European country, somewhere else, Germany, whatever, it's a nation. They speak a certain way. So they have language. So you call that nation language. So if you in America, you have American language. And then within America, you have certain people that speak a certain way, i.e., black people. Within that, we got a certain way that we speak. And it's a culture within these areas that we come from. So if you're in Philly and you speak a certain way, we call that Philly Nation language. You know what I'm saying? Coined by my man James G. Spady, because you're using your squad the way we say, yeah, I mean, that's the ball. Yeah, I mean, nah, go over there. Nah, get the ball over there. Nah, man, I ain't trying it. And them joints all right, though. They joints all right. All right, then. You know what I mean? Yeah, boy, you mean, be on it. You mean. All that's nation language. That's Philly's nation language, and then we attach hip hop, because we talking about hip hop. Hip hop nation language. Philly hip hop nation language. So boom, New York, they got their own language, right? And now they got their own hip hop nation language, and they be like, nah, B, nah, done. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, no, done. All that, you know, when they speak that, you know what I mean? No, meet me at, you know what I mean? Nah, done. What's up, B? Nah, B. You know what I mean? All of that is New York nation language, New York hip hop nation language. Let's go down south. Tommy Wright, y'all probably never heard that. He's a deep underground Memphis rapper that put out his own tapes. He's speaking in a language that he speak. When they speak in Memphis, and when you hear 3-6 Mafia, when you hear La Chat, when you hear Loco, what's the girl that used to rap with Tommy Wright? When you hear all these different um, uh, 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 what's 3-6 Mafia uh that was the name. I forget her name off top. I ain't forget her name, but I can't think of it off top. But when you hear all these different rappers, Mia X, when you hear just these different women and different the way they speak and the language that they decide to speak. Trina, she from South. They're speaking hip hop down South nation language, down South nation language. So they speaking in their twang and their tongue, and they're using their slang in their lyrical context. And the reason what made them dope is not, he said, Kweli was like, oh, he asked them in Cincinnati because Cincinnati was a big New Orleans No Limit fans. There were a lot of fans from Cincinnati love Master P. And he said they said it was about the hustle. And Kweli was saying, yeah, it's about hustle. And I'm saying, no, it ain't just the hustle. That's okay. We did love Master. I love Master P because I used to say, oh man, he's an entrepreneur. He talking, but it's the way he said it, the way they were talking. Like for instance, Bout It. Y'all know that's his biggest movie. That's one of his biggest songs. Bout It. Did we say Bout It in Philly? No. Did they say Bout It in New York? No. You know what I mean? We Bout It, ride it, fool. And Bout It means for them, it means that, yo, we about this. We gonna make it happen regardless. You know what I'm saying? We about this. We say what we gonna do. We say what we are. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get this money and get this music thing popping, boy. And we gonna make it happen regardless of anything. We about it. You know what I mean? You about that? I'm about it. I'm about it. You know? Silk to Shaka. He bout it. We screaming TRU, you know what I mean? We screaming all that. Yeah, you know we finna get money, you understand? We bout it, ride it. That's a nation language. That's them speaking in their tone, their nation language, what they understand among themselves. That's what they, when they be talking different uh, um, lang, right there, all that type of thing. You know what I mean? That's their nation language. That's their lyric. So the beauty that I like back when I used to try to get a lot of people to get into down south was one, they used their nation beats, nation language beats. The beats are pound, had that pound, beats by the pound, huh? But that's New Orleans. And then you have Juvenile. Oh, you like little girl, huh? Oh, you talking that? They speaking his nation language. That's a down south New Orleans nation language. Now, Houston had their own thing. They, Pimp with Rod and, when they slow, laid back, that's from they lean. And then that makes them talk with a certain way. Then it allowed DJ Screw to create Chop and Screw. Well, why not slow it down? This is how we are. They're doing their nation language, their nation lyrical language. So they do have lyrics within their context, within their thing. So I got into them because they use their own slangs and their own nation language. That's what made me like Master P and make me like Tommy Wright the Third and make me like all these different rappers I was seeing back then. UGK, 3-6 Mafia, all these type of rappers that I seen when they was popping. Even San Francisco, the Bay Area and all that, they had they language. Because when you had Murder Dog was showcasing Midwest, down south rappers and West Coast rappers. That was from them. They rarely had East Coast rappers in there. Anybody up north, they really had that. And that's what I liked about down south. And that's what I used to try to get people to see back then, back in the 90s, back in the early 90s, back in 96, mid 90s, when I was trying to tell people, nah, man, this down south thing is popping. People still got a hard time. But the reason why we like them, or I should say I like down south, because they were using their own nation slang, you know what I mean? And Philly, like I said, we'd be like, nah, the boy on this joint, you mean? Oh, yeah, I mean, nah, you mean? He be on this, you mean? All that's Philly nation language. That's the way we talk. That's within our Philly joint, you know what I mean? Our Philly slang, our Philly nation language. That's how we understand each other, you know what I'm saying? And that's why Master P to me was dope, because he would say something like, we bout it, you bout it, we bout it, bout it, and they groove into their beat, they groove into that beat and that heavy bass. They love that heavy bass, and they was doing stuff on 4 tracks and hardcore. They stepped it up to them big studios, but they stuff was so pounding that they could do it on the tape and put it out. And then, of course, secondary, thirdary is the hustle. But they had lyrics and they was rapping the way they rap. I don't want a rapper from down south to sound like some boy from up north. I wouldn't have been into it. I'm like, so you can sound like north. I don't want you to sound like north. I don't want the north to sound like the south. However, I do like the fact that we're rhyming over the down south beats, because the beats to me is another entity to hip hop. And if you remember when we first started, we was bass heavy. They playing synthesizers, all kinds of keys on that joint. All that, boom. All that bass that's in that. So when you hear Master P's No Limit records, that's what you hear, a lot of that. You know what I mean? And these rappers were good. When you listen to Mia X and hear the stuff they saying, the stuff was dope. You know what I'm saying? Banging. You know what I'm saying? So let's don't say that, oh, they didn't have lyrics. It was just about the hustle. No, it was more than just about the hustle. It was their nation language that they decided to ride on the beats, and they will ride the way they talk. And the way Master P talked, he put that on the joint. It's just the way that Nas talked, he put it on his beats in his New York nation language. He talked in his way. You know what I mean? When he life's a bitch and then you die, and not done something, he passed me a kite, and blah blah blah, and they speaking the way they speak in their nation language. So Kweli, you got it wrong. It's not just about the hustle. They did have lyrics. They used their own New Orleans nation language. Juvenile, Lil Wayne, BG, Soldier Slim. You know, all these different I said BG. All these different rappers. Skull Dugley, Cain and Abel, Mac, who just got out of jail. They're speaking their way. Silk the Shocker. Silk the Shocker, people say, oh, he was off. I love the way he rapped. That when he was just the way that he would say his stuff. It's on. Make sure I get the ring. And he stutter stop. And then catch up with the beat and slow back down the beat. That's a style. He's rhyming the way he is when he on the street, you know. I just hitting thanks with some thank. What do you say? What's the song? I'm trying to think when they be like, what's the one? Y'all, what I'm trying to think of a song that they had. I'm just trying to get some money and things. Y'all with that weed and money. No, y'all want them weed and bees. We want them. Y'all want them blunts and weed. What is it? Blunts and how the song go? I forget. Y'all about that blunt. Y'all about them blunts and bees. About that weed and money. I'm just trying to have money and things, something he said, but he was riding the beat. He's speaking in his nation language. I got it wrong, but I've been hearing it so much I shouldn't get it wrong because I like all this stuff. But when I was buying them down south and Murder Dog and stuff was in Murder Dog, that's what I look for. The nation down south language over those pounding bass heavy beats. That was the beauty of them, and they did have lyrics within their nation language, and that was the beauty, and that's what I love. That's what I try to get people to see. But back then, people was dissing them, and I was like, y'all don't get it. Now people are just starting to get it. So it's like, wow, down south, man. You better get into them because they dope. I don't care what y'all say.